So we've had Lionel Johnson come back, we've had Rabute Guilliman holding the Imperium together with duct tape and passive aggressiveness, and now the big question is, who's next? Which Loyalist Primarch is going to stroll back in from the warp or whatever weird rock they've been hiding under and shake up the galaxy all over again? Is it going to be a furry, a emo boy, or the pimp daddy himself? Today I'm diving into who should be the next Primarch to return based on lore, narrative impact, and how cool it would be to see them sucker punch Lorgar in the face. Let's get into it. This is going to be a less scripted video, and it's kind of just going to be a rant / discussion on who should be the next Primarch back, who will actually be the next Primarch back, and finally just the overall state of the Primarchs and the 40th millennium. I'm kind of just going to be speaking out of my butt this whole time, so it might become rambling and incoherent at points. I'm just a stupid cow, so just bear with me here, folks. So who's currently back in 40k? With the Loyalist Primarchs, we have Guilliman and the Lion. Guilliman is currently running around the Imperium like a chicken without a head, and I believe his current position is either heading towards Imperial Nihilus to deal with the Great Rift, or maybe towards the Paranexus? I'm honestly a little confused by it. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. Honestly, I kind of want to dive into a little side tangent here. The current 40k timeline makes no sense. It makes no sense, guys, and it drives me absolute bonkers. Like, here's the thing. Originally, the Indominus Crusade was said to last 112 years, and the Dark Imperium trilogy, which covers Guilliman's return and the Plague Wars, had already happened. But now they've retconned it to only 12 years, and the Crusade is still ongoing. I get that 112 years might have felt too long for a fresh start to the setting, but come on. How did Guilliman travel to Terra, break through the warp rift surrounding Nihilus to save the Blood Angels at Baal, and then return to Ultramar all within 12 years? It's just simply not adding up.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
But hey, I'm just a cow. Okay, but back to the subject at hand. Guilliman's been literally everywhere, doing everything. So where the hell is the Lion? The Lion is currently in Imperium Nihilus, quietly building his own realm of worlds to defend against chaos bleeding in from the Great Rift. He's already reunited with the Dark Angels, met with Dante and Azrael, and is essentially acting like a guerrilla warlord king in the shadows. One of his biggest moments so far was the battle at Wormwood, where he fought Angron and actually beheaded him. But the battle was still a loss for the Imperium. Abaddon and Vastor got exactly what they came for and dipped, leaving the Loyalist forces licking their wounds. This is a theme I've noticed repeating more and more lately as Chaos keeps winning, and honestly, I kinda love it, guys. Think about it. The Loyalists are getting their Primarchs back, they're pulling off these massive crusades, they're getting Primaris reinforcements, they're rallying under legends like Guilliman and the Lion, and they're still losing. First Cadia, then Wormwood, both end in strategic losses. Even when the Lion beheads Angron, they still lose. It's such a cool way to balance a setting. Yeah, the Imperium is getting stronger, but Chaos isn't sitting still. They're always 2 steps ahead, always willing to lose the battle just to win the war. And honestly, I love it. It keeps the stakes high, it keeps the grimdark actually grimdark, because even with demigods returning, hope is still not guaranteed. The galaxy is still pretty much screwed, and I think that's the perfect way to evolve the setting without losing what made it special in the first place. But Jesus Christ, I need to stop deviating, guys. My ADHD is taking over. So still, while the Lion is back and badass, he's playing a very different game than Guilliman, more subtle, more regional, and way more covert. And you know what's even crazier? These two have still not met. Guilliman's been running around all over the galaxy like a blueberry space dad on a mission, and meanwhile the Lion, who came back in 2023 mind you, hasn't even shared a scene with him. It's literally stupid. We haven't gotten a single update about the Lion since Arc of Omens. Literally nothing. It's ridiculous, guys. And now people are already talking about who's the next Primarch coming back. Bro, we haven't even finished the story of this one. It's ridiculous and it flabbergasts me. Don't get me wrong though, the Primarchs are some of the coolest, if not the coolest, parts of Warhammer 40K. I had to say that or someone would have showed up at my house and milked me like the cow I am. The horror. Whether you like it or not, the Primarchs are coming back. That's just reality. And the community, I feel like, is seriously split on this. Some fans are absolutely thrilled. They love seeing the demigods return, reshaping the setting, making things feel big again. But there's a lot of older fans who absolutely despise it. To them, 40K is about hopelessness, about the long, slow decline, about the grim darkness where there is only war and no hope. The more Primarchs you throw in, the more it feels like Marvel in space. And I get it, guys, I really do. But full disclosure, I'm a Horus Heresy guy. Yeah, I'm a frickin' nerd, a loser, and a simp for the good old days of the Imperium. That's peak to me. Literally, and I guess metaphorically, the Horus Heresy is the Imperium at its height, millions of Space Marines, the Custodies still out in force, Titans stomping around like it's nobody's business, and the Mechanicum actually working properly. The characters are cooler, the stories hit harder, and the scale is simply insane. It's not grimdark in the same way, it's more about noble sacrifices, about heroes holding out for the dream, even if that dream dies in fire and betrayal. But I will admit, when the Primarchs return in the modern setting, the tone kinda does shift. And not everyone likes it, and that's completely valid, but here's the real truth. Whether you like it or not, the Primarchs are coming back. Probably all of them. Well, how do I, a humble cow, know this? Am I a double agent for Games Workshop? Or maybe a psychic oracle gifted with foresight by the ruinous powers? Nope, I'm just really good at spotting a pattern, and that pattern is spelled out M-O-N-E-Y. Mr. Krabs, help me out. What does that spell?
Money!
That's pretty much what Games Workshop is all about, and the Primarchs, they bring in a lot of cash. Whether it's new models, novels, animations, or even video games, that would be so sick, guys. Imagine a Primarch video game. Oh my god. Primarchs print gold to get people talking, buying, hyped. So at the end of the day, it's not a question of if, it's not even who anymore. It's just a matter of when. Alright, now let's get to the actual point of this video. Who really should be the next Primarch to come back? And before we dive into it, let me remind the class, we don't even need a new Primarch yet. Like, seriously guys, can we pump the brakes for a second? Guilliman and the Lion haven't even met yet. They're out here tag teaming the galaxy like it's a co-op game, but they haven't shared a single cutscene. It doesn't make any sense. Let the boys have a reunion first before we go into summoning another Primarch. Okay, now let's actually discuss this, like really discuss this, fellas. Every week I see new videos popping up like, it's Leman Russ, or Dorn confirmed, or this obscure box set proves it's Vulcan. And to say to that, it's all bullshit. With love, it's still bullshit. There is no confirmed evidence, literally none, that Dorn, Russ, Vulcan, or even Jagatai are coming back. And yeah, I get it, the Space Wolves got new models. That must mean the Wolf King is returning, right? No, it really doesn't. Salamander's got new models too, and Vulcan is still chilling in a volcano probably. And don't even get me started on Wolf Time, a book literally named after the long prophesized return of Leman Russ, and he's not even mentioned. Literal trolling from Games Workshop. The only one we've seen show up recently is Corvus Corax, and even then, he's just a weird shadow emo bird doing lots of emo things in the warp. Not really what I'd call back. So to recap, there's no real evidence that anyone is returning anytime soon. You heard it here first. Quote me, clip me, laugh at me if I'm wrong. But right now, it's just smoke and memes. With that myth busted, let's shift gears. Forget about who might come back. Let's talk about who should come back. Time to go Primarch by Primarch and see who actually deserves to take the dramatic entrance onto the 40K stage. Let me start with the ones I definitely don't think should come back anytime soon. Corax is first. Yes, I can hear all the emo bird boys crying in the distance. I've made you incredibly sad. But this one's easy to explain. Corvus Corax's whole deal right now is that he's hunting Lorgar. That's his arc. And since Lorgar hasn't come back yet, like honestly, where the hell is he? Why bring back Corvus Corax? I feel like we should hold off on him, let Lorgar return, and give us that glorious feathery rematch between the edgy Raven Man and the priestly butt muncher. That one's really simple. The rest though, absolute chaos. It's a debate and I love it. So among the remaining Loyalist Primarchs, we've got Vulcan, Rogel Dorn, my autistic king, Leman Russ, and the Khan. Let's go one by one, starting with the hottest take ever. Cutting Leman Russ. I know, I can hear the howling from Fenris. People are screaming, hurling Space Wolf slurs at me.
You need to leave!
Please calm down. I'm just a cow. For utter sake. But hear me out. We already have Rabute Guilliman, the ultimate statesman, the administrator, the politician, and we already have the lion, the stoic warrior, the duelist, the old school knight. What does Russ add to this dynamic? He'd just be another melee focused Primarch, basically a hairier lion with a worse attitude. Now I know some people are saying, but wait, cow! He could come back all Odin-like, with psychic powers, ravens, and a cool Viking wizard energy. Sure, that'd be awesome, but the narrative's simply not ready for that. Russ's whole deal is tied to Magnus. It's their internal beef, their intergalactic sibling rivalry. And where the hell is Magnus right now? Last I checked, he was failing at his plans for the 8th time in a row. That man takes more L's than a Lucius Fight Club. So with Magnus off licking his warp wounds, bringing back Russ now would be a complete waste. The stage isn't set, it'd be way more impactful to bring back Russ after Magnus becomes a real threat again. Let's have them have a rematch and maybe, just maybe, give Russ some character growth. He was kind of a dog-brained idiot during the heresy, let him evolve. So to summarize, Leman Russ, cool, popular, bit of a furry, but not yet. Let him cook. Let the story build around him before his return. That leaves us with the Khan, Vulcan, and Dorn. Each of them brings something new to the table, and possibly they've been changed by 10,000 years of hell. Let's break it down. The Khan disappeared chasing Drukhari into the webway. He's gone full warp cowboy. Vulcan disappeared after the War of the Beast, and some folks think he's half orc hybrid now, which is a stupid fan canon to be honest. I don't know who started that rumor, but no, thank you. Dorn is supposedly dead, died in the first Black Crusade, but let me be the first to say it, Dorn is not dead. Games Workshop walked that death back hard. They retconned it to a maybe, and in Warhammer terms, that means absolutely not dead. Dude's more alive than Alfarius at this point. And here's the thing, look at the current setting. The Imperium is in shambles, Cadia exploded, Vastor got his goodies, Abaddon achieves its goals, and Angron converts an entire Imperial fleet to corn. And there's a hole in the galaxy bigger than my cow-sized ass. Everything simply sucks. And worst of all, a new demon Primarch is returning. Fulgrim, the wriggling snake man, or as many of us call him, the rape snake. Gross nickname, blame the lore guys, blame the lore. And his return novel, absolute dog shit. It's literally Black Templar propaganda with barely any ketamine references. 1 out of 10 milk jars. Would not recommend. So Fulgrim's coming back, and naturally in my opinion, he needs an adversary. You know, like Guilliman vs Morty, or the Lion vs Angron. It's the classic setup, Primarch vs Primarch, opposing ideals, epic anime clash, and narrative oomph. Now Guilliman and Morty, that's a great thematic fight. I like the way they framed it. Two philosophical opposites. The Lion and Angron, it's alright. It's just kind of a boss fight. Angron's basically a chaos Pokemon at this point. He doesn't even talk anymore. Just growls, roars, and bleeds on people. Gross. No emotional payoff, no juicy monologue that makes my udders quake, just utterly disappointing. See what I did there, guys? But Fulgrim, that weird slippery snake man, he needs a rival. He needs someone to punch him in his perfect teeth and tell him to stop turning civilians into ketamine. So who fits that role best? Of the remaining Loyalist Primarchs, we've got Dorn, Vulcan, and the Khan. Let's start with Dorn. Honestly, he's a great candidate. Dorn fought Fulgrim during the Siege of Terra, and their duel ended in a weird draw because Fulgrim just got bored and left. He literally left, guys. That's a fucking power move. He probably had a ketamine appointment to keep. Now Dorn is all about willpower and emotional restraint. He's the stoic king, but by the end of the siege, he's basically shattered emotionally, wrecked from holding back everything inside him. He doesn't want to be calm, he wants to rage. If you haven't read The End and the Death, go do that. There's a scene where Dorn almost falls to Khorne. Emphasis on almost, because he's the fucking goat, but still the emotional damage is there. That vulnerability, it could be exploited by Fulgrim, Slanesh style. That's a fun thematic thread. Fulgrim tempting Dorn to let go of control, let go of logic, just to let it all out. Dorn could look him dead in the eyes and say no while punching him in the face. But Dorn, I feel like he needs to be saved for Perturabo. That's kinda like a family feud. It's the big payoff, Dorn vs Purdy, is the classic sibling grudge match we all need. So unfortunately, I'm shelving Dorn for now, if he's still alive. Now Khan vs Fulgrim, that's an interesting idea. The Khan roasted Fulgrim in the past, some quality sass one could say, but I don't know if it sets up a compelling rivalry. I actually think the Khan's best dynamic was with Morty during the Heresy. That clash of outsiders, each choosing a different path. That was Chef's kiss. But maybe Fulgrim works too? The Khan represents freedom, self-determination, movement. Fulgrim is about obsession, excess, indulgence, and drugs. So many drugs. And then we have Vulcan. Honestly, Vulcan and Fulgrim had next to no interaction during the Heresy. But in my Vulcan video, I said it would have been sick if Vulcan had been the one defending civilians from Fulgrim's drug-fueled rampage across the Imperium. That's a great thematic dynamic. Vulcan, protector of humanity. Fulgrim, guy who turns humanity into combat drugs. Let's talk big picture though. The Khan is a warrior and a philosopher. He's Guilliman's complete opposite, not just in tactics, but in values. He fought for lives, not logistics. Remember during the siege, he rode out to save civilians while Morty tried to stop him. Vulcan is more of a builder, a creator, but he shares the same devotion to protecting the innocent. Either of them would be an excellent matchup, but honestly, I'm going with the pimp daddy himself, Jagatai Khan. It just makes sense. He just disappeared into the webway, and it's way easier to write him back in. And he and Fulgrim do have history. The drama would be juicy, plus Fulgrim's treatment of humanity would infuriate the Khan, who already hated the Imperium's slide into tyranny. Imagine the Khan coming back and seeing the corpse-worshipping bureaucracy it's become. He'd lose his goddamn mind. And let's be honest, the community absolutely loves Jagatai Khan. After the Heresy novels, he's been fleshed out beautifully, and the White Scars, consistently one of the most respected chapters. So yeah, Khan vs Fulgrim is my pick, a fast free-willed philosopher versus a decadent slithering narcissist. Absolutely perfect. But I can hear you all groaning, why did I watch all of this just for him to say that Khan should come back? To that I say, you're in too deep, might as well keep watching. Now, who's actually coming back next? Easy. It's not Dorn, it's not Korax, it's not the Khan unfortunately, it's Leman Russ. I hate it, but it's true. Space Wolves are popular, Russ is popular, and let's be honest, compared to the chapters of the remaining Loyalist Primarchs, Space Wolves print money. They just got new models, new units. You think Games Workshop isn't going to follow that up with a Russ comeback? Come on, it's just obvious. Do I want it to happen this way? No. Is it going to be deep and meaningful? Probably not. Is it going to be cool to see him fight Fulgrim? Sure, I guess. But I'm not going to sit around here and pretend like I found some super deep lore nugget to support this theory. I won't lie to my herd. This ain't that channel. It's business for Games Workshop. Simple as that. So before I wrap this weird chaotic rant video up, let's talk about the bigger picture. Is the return of the Primarchs a good thing, a bad thing, or kinda meh? Like I've already said before, it's happening whether you like it or not. The setting is already shifting. From grim dark to, well, a slightly noble dark? Maybe? The Primarchs returning is like injecting a little bit of optimism into complete misery. With just Guilliman and the Lion returning, we've already seen that tone shift. Imagine what happens when all the surviving Primarchs return. I don't think it's bad, I just think it needs to be done well. If you're going to bring back a Primarch, make it matter. Give us weight, give us consequences. Look at Guilliman's return. He meets the Emperor's psychic corpse, fights Magnus, launches the Indominus Crusade, saves Baal, and then fights Morty in the Plague Wars. That's a massive lore payoff. Now look at the Lion. We got one book. One. A cool duel with Angron, sure, some Fallen redemption, and then absolutely nothing. No trilogy, no real narrative arc, just here's your dad, now go to your room. He deserves so much more. He needs a full arc, facing Luthor, redeeming the Fallen, rebuilding the Dark Angels, and it goes on and on. Instead, we got a pamphlet of no meat, no sauce, no girth. It just sucks seeing Lionel Johnson get so screwed over. So yeah, bring the Primarchs back, advance their story, shake up the galaxy, but build the damn world around them. There are only 7 Loyalist Primarchs left, each one returning should be a seismic event. Don't waste them, Games Workshop. Anyway, that concludes this deeply unhinged rant. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want more videos like this, me yelling into the void about plastic spacemen, let me know in the comments. I kinda had a lot of fun. Leave a like, sub if you're not already, and as always guys, stay milked. I'll see you in the next video.